What's going on, my friends? SeanPierceJohnson here, and welcome to another exciting episode of Stompbox Saturday. On the Stompin block this week, we have the Strokkur Treble booster from KMA Audio Machines. We have not looked at a treble booster ever, maybe, here on the show. Because they just don't seem to be all that common. There are a few companies out there doing treble boosters, but I guess because it's not a flavor of the month pedal, most companies shy away from them. But what I love about this particular pedal is that we have not just a treble booster, but we can push it into the full range boost territory. We have some EQ options, but we get the lovely, lovely, lovely coloration and tone of germanium transistors. So let's go ahead, throw the pedal up on the screen and take a look at the controls. There are 4 knobs on this pedal. Let's start with the ones on the bottom, being range and boost. Now, range is really the hallmark feature of this pedal in that we can use it to take this pedal from the classic Arbiter Rangemaster treble booster side of things to a more full range boost that gives us a little bit of that germanium coloration. The boost knob is essentially your output volume, so the amount of boost you're going to get out of it. Now, the smaller knobs at the top are treble and bass, and those are EQ points. The bass is centered around 240 hertz, and the treble is centered at about 2.4 kilohertz. I guess I'm just a stickler for what bass and treble frequencies are, because to me 2.4 is more like a high mid thing, but it starts definitely getting into that territory in the guitar where you get a little bit more attack. The cool thing with those 2 knobs though is that it's boost and cut, so we could very easily shave off the low end, shave off the high end, add in the high end, add in the low end. So a treble booster with EQ, a full range boost with EQ, and variations in between that make this a very flexible treble booster. Let's go ahead and listen to this pedal in front of a clean sound to see what exactly the knobs are doing. Of course, the setup, as always, trusty Les Paul Studio. We are going into the Strokkur. The only thing between the Strokkur and the Orange Rocker Verb 100 is a Boss TU3, because we need to stay in tune, don't we? So let's go ahead and hear the clean tone, and then we'll check out the pedal. lots of range to the knobs, and the really interesting thing about all of them is that they really do affect one another. You know, when you go to the more treble booster side of things, we'll be able to get a little bit more emphasis out of the treble side, and then the bass side, when we go full range, that'll have a little bit more of a boomy effect. So really, kind of what you need to do when you approach this pedal is first decide what your range is going to be, and then you can go ahead and achieve your sound. So usually with treble booster pedals, I like those in front of dirt sounds. So let's go ahead, turn on the dirty channel on the rock reverb, and let's craft the boost sound that I like. Yep, I think I like it. I kind of love the idea with this pedal of the EQ and then the range, because it really allows you to fine tune the frequency points that you want to be boosted. But that EQ just really helps you voice the sound better than most boost pedals that I've come across, because we tend to, as guitar players, think in terms of we want this big honking guitar sound. And the reality is that in the context of a full band, you know, maybe with two guitar players, a bass, drums, vocals, maybe you're lucky enough to play with a good keyboard player, that's a lot of sonic territory, and that's a lot of different frequencies fighting one another. As guitar players, we need to live in that mid-range to like high mid-range area. That's really where we're most at home. If we have too much bass, we're starting to compete with the bass player. If we have, you know, too many subs, if we really want those like thundering low end, we start competing with the kick drum, we start competing with synthesizers. It's just a very ugly bad thing that when not done right, guitar sounds can sound really, really terrible. So the fact that we have this flexibility in this pedal means a lot. Now let's just see what happens when I turn the range knob on this sound already. And you can kind of hear, we start getting that low end back, but think in the context of the band, would that be the best thing to do? By myself, that's awesome, and it sounds really, really good, and I enjoy both those settings. Live, I might use one sound. studio by myself, or maybe for some fatter lead sounds, I might go with another setting. Let's go ahead and do a little solo-y meadly thing. Both sound good, but different applications. And that definitely a big plus that I can give this pedal. Same basic setting, different ranges of boost, both equally good, making this a much more flexible boost pedal than you might think at the outset. And that, my friends, was the Strokkur Treble booster from KMA Audio Machines. I really dig this one. It's got all the right ingredients of a germanium treble booster. Gives that color that I love about germanium. It's just a little bit of grind. It's not totally clean. It's got that nice warm character, but the upped versatility of the range knob and the 2-band EQ really ups the versatility. It's amazing the different sounds that you can get out of it. And I highly encourage you, if you haven't checked out a treble booster, you owe it to yourself to check one out. Whether it's a simple Rangemaster clone or one that takes the Rangemaster and ups the ante like Strokkur does. Big thumbs up in my book, and I am looking forward to seeing how it works within my guitar rig in the very near future. And I'd love to know what you guys thought of Strokkur. You can let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, and please do click the subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss next week's episode of Stompbox Saturday. As always, I appreciate you all so much for joining me this week. I hope to see you next week, and until then, my friends, I'm SeanPierceJohnson, and I wish you all great tone and happy stomping. Cheers.